Right. Let me see if I can do something now. Let me see if I can record the ERXGen Breakout System summary in 5 minutes. Okay. And I'm just going to do it quick. The full course is in the 21-day challenge. But if I can just do a 5 minute summary to show folks why this system, I've had it. If you go back to my YouTube channels or things like that, even if you go to nql5.com and search for Chima Okoro or ERXGen filter, this has been there since I think it's 2015. But obviously I was trading this before then. It's a basic entry level technique. If you're just new to trading, it allows you, it has all the all the parameters and principles that you need to know whilst you when you join or when you start trading newly. So it's clear where your entries are, where your stop loss should be, and the rules to follow clearly defined. So if you've not traded, if you're new, this is a system to start with. Makes you money, and then you can move on to some other what I call them more advanced and even more profitable systems. But this is a place to start. Okay, so let's go. So what typically happens in the market is price can either move up, right, or price can move down, or price can hover around the same place. Now, when people see things like this, they call them uptrend or bullish trend, right? When people see price do this, they call it a downtrend, right, or a bearish trend, right? And when price is moving in between two levels, as it were, this is what is called a range. Some people also say things like consolidation. Okay, so a range, price just moves, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. Now that's typically what price does. Any of these situations, let me just take the uptrend, as it were. So when I find an uptrend, right, and I get to a particular point of an uptrend, this uptrend can do either of three things. There are only three things this uptrend can do, right? This uptrend can either continue to go up, right, continuing the uptrend, or it will reverse and start to go down, right, or it will just hover about. So at any point you find price, there are only three things price can do. So once I find price in any place, wherever that price is, price can continue or can go up, or price can go down, or price can just hover around, consolidate, range. Okay, so these are the basic kind of principles around that. So that's the first thing. So what we are trying to do, this is the concept of price movement, right? Now the other thing then we also need to notice is that at certain times of the day, right, so in a 24-hour period, so when you look at a 24-hour period, 0 to 24, 23, or let's say 20, 0 to 0, or let's say 23, right? There are certain times in the day, this is, I'm using GMT, as it were, and sometimes GMT matches with BST, but right now it's not the same, British summertime, right, as it were. So 0 to 23. At certain times of the day, there is what is called volatility. And volatility, now I'm up 4 minutes already. I won't finish this in 5 minutes. I thought I will. But let's just do this quick. So at certain times of the day, price tends to volatility. So activity in the market tends to be huge, right? So if you're following GMT around 00 to at about 6 a.m., this is what is called the Asian session. Volatility, activity in the market is kind of moderate. Then from around 6 a.m. to UK time, you see price volatility will increase, a lot of activity, buying and selling happening. It tapers down a bit sometimes, Then around 1:30 p.m., that's when we get into the New York session. High volatilities again in the market, a lot of activity, and then price then tapers down at the end of that, back into the Asian session. Okay, so this is what tends to happen. Now, this strategy, ERXGen Breakout, right, takes advantage of this high volatility in the market. So it sets up during this session when it's just moderate, very low volatility happening, and that's where our rules are made from. Then straight after that, immediately we enter into high volatility, we try to take those activities in the market. And so that's why when you see the ERXGen Breakout System, there are times when we have this happening. In fact, let me get something like this. So when you look at the ERXGen Breakout System, what we're trying to track is that period during the Asian session to see if there are any price activities happening. Quickly, let me see if I can get us volume. Is there volumes? So volumes, let's just see if we can get this quick. So you can see that during the Asian session, let's just see quickly during the Asian session. So this is an Asian session. This period here is an Asian session. So you can see how the volume is. Then straight once we enter into the European session, the London session, you can see what's happening. Price has gone boom, boom, boom. And it's the same here and here. You can see volume very low. And then once we get into the Asian session, into the London session, then there's an increase. So that's what I'm explaining now. So these two concepts are what the ERXGen Breakout System is based on. So the first concept being, we want to find those places where price has either gone up, and there are three things price can either do. So we want to catch it whether it will go down, we want to sell. If it doesn't go down and instead it goes up, we want to buy. And what we don't want to see happen is when price does this, because we lose money when price does this, because it's going nowhere, right? So we want to spot those times. So we want to find trending action. So it can either be a downtrend, and then what we want to find is, will price continue to go down, we'll continue to sell, or will price reverse a bit and then we will buy and we'll make money, and we don't really want to see this happen. Okay, so that's the concept. Again, I'm doing this very quickly. Let's see if we can do it in 10 now instead of 5. Okay, so that's what the ERXGen Breakout System. So what we have is a tool that I built years ago to help me spot this. So I don't want to be going and looking after currency pairs and all those sort of things. So I built a tool that allows me, it shows me, displays on the chart immediately for me 12 currency pairs and the rules of the strategy. So there are 3 basic rules. I need to have an intra-week trend, which is what these 3 boxes are. Then I need to have a tight Tokyo range. So this area here during the Asian session needs to be tight. What do I mean by tight? I don't want to have price trending during this time. I don't want to see this kind of thing happen. I want to see this kind of stuff happen, as it were. So let's go to something like a perfect case like this. You can see, where's EuroCAD? Right, so you can see price isn't trending, but price is trending here. But here it is kind of not doing a lot of things. You can clearly see it's not doing a lot of activity here. And you can see from here to here there were 6 candles, and then the next 6 candles you can see how much price had moved in the next 6 candles, which shows you that this area here we want to have a tight Asian session. And then the location of that Asian session, we want it to be either at the bottom or the top of the previous day range. Now I know there's a lot of sentences here I've made, a lot of concepts I've brought in, but I actually teach you this step by step in a 21-day challenge. Help yourself, folks. And you can see that today at 8:30 I showed you this. The system had told me there were four currency pairs that gave us signals. All I needed to do then was come in the morning, just before, because when I pasted this, price was still inside here. But what we'll do is we'll place a pending order here for buy, and we also place a pending order here for sell. So if price comes down here, then we are selling, which is what we said. Price is coming down here. There are three things price would continue doing. Will it continue going down, or will it turn and go up, or will it just hover about? We don't want it to just hover about, because it's not a very great day. We want it to do something like this, and it moved back up in this case, and that's why we were able to buy and we made money. And it's the same thing you will just do for every single one of them, right? When we set this, when I send that signal, so-called signal out, this is where price was, and all I needed to do was put a pending buy order there. Remember yesterday we talked about pending orders. Pending buy order there, and a pending sell order there. Right? That's all we needed to do. And so when price now came and took us in that trade, we went all the way up. There was already 1-to-1, about 1-to-1 up there. But certainly 1-to-1, and when price came back up, right? So we can clearly see what happened there, and that is the ERXGen Breakout System in 11 minutes. Go and watch the entire course. It's more than 11 minutes, and I break it down stage by stage. I break down the concept, and then break down how you can then get into the trade. I take some examples, and it will be helpful for you. Okay, all right. Any questions? Please let me know. Cheers.